This month we've talked a lot about the forearm, and today I want to talk a little bit about what I sort of call the rotational relationship between different body parts. So when we engage in any yoga pose or movement in general, we should consider how everything is connected. When someone places their hands on their yoga mat at an angle, their entire upper arm will follow, meaning their shoulder is going to be impacted. The humerus, the upper arm bone, cannot rotate like the forearm. So in a way, it's sort of beholden to where the other ends of it go. For example, when we rotate our hands in tabletop pose, so our thumbs point more downwards. So if we come onto our mat, fingers pointing forwards, then we rotate our hands so our thumbs are pointing towards our knees. The whole arm is going to follow. So our shoulder joints are going to turn in immediately. Shoulder movement follows the positioning of the hand. Upper shoulders impacts the lats, the neck. A lot of different parts of the body are impacted by each other, of course, right? The same thing is true if we place our hands in the opposite direction and face the insides of our wrists forwards. So if we rotate the forearms, rotate those hands, those thumbs coming out, our upper arms and in turn our shoulder joints will follow. This gets tricky when we're trying to press our shoulder blades in one way while the humerus is pulling that part of the shoulder joint in another direction. So it's important for us to recognize what's positioned where and by extension, what occurs elsewhere. When we see someone who's very medially rotated in their shoulders, right? So they're really rounded. So we'll make a fake scenario. We'll make it very extreme. So let's pretend they have really bad forward head position. You don't have to squint to see this upon first glance, right? They have slight kyphosis, making them lean forward in their upper body, rounding their shoulders over. So we could go into the whole lower body, but we're going to stick with that for now. So this person would most likely need modifications in poses, but they may still be able to get on their hands and knees into tabletop. I would seriously suggest as the instructor that you really be watching and ready to modify that pose. They could always come up to standing and use the wall just for the upper body. But then sometimes the hips get a little loosey-goosey, so you kind of have to be careful. I like to offer lots of alternatives. So maybe they do Sukhasana instead if that's a real big issue. So this person's body has shortened and lengthened. The muscles within it are off balance. So they need to be careful progressing through normal poses because each part of the body is impacted by the other. If in fact you do come across someone with this look, you may want to mindfully inquire about osteoporosis because other alterations may be needed for their safety.